Is there life after death? This is the question that has plagued all species, all life, since time immemorial. Yet it is a question that, for all the advances made in our technology, we still have no definitive answer to. Yet there is one persistent rumour that continues to fly, a whisper that haunts the corridors of Starfleet vessels, starting in the 2370s and continuing right the way into the present day. For this Fleetcom retrospective, we are diving into the mystery of the Black Mountain. The Black Mountain as a rumour began gaining traction at some point in the 2370s, although in actual fact the word had spread long before then. In 2382, Captain Jackson Carver of the Starship Resolution spoke with Fleetcom about the rumours. Carver, being a survivor of Wolf 359, had experienced many near-death moments.
You really want to know about the Black Mountain?
Yes, in your own words.
Fine. I was a CPO aboard the Hood. You probably heard the stories. The only ship to survive Wolf 359. Bullshit, a lot of it. Nothing survived 359. We endured 359. Some of us came out the other side. Loads of others, though. They got to see that Black Mountain. I was lucky, if that's the word. I was fit enough that when Endeavour and the rest showed up and started searching for survivors, they had me helping. I'm a security man by trade, but I had field medic training, so they threw me into triage. Officers and crewmen and civilians were dead or wounded. Many of them had been brought back from the brink, or had to be kept from going over. That's when they started saying that they'd seen a Black Mountain. The way they tell it, it was some sort of spiritual battleground. Place where you had to face your own personal challenges. Sounded like horse the first time I heard it. But then I heard it again. And again. Too many people were saying the same things. There was too much consistency. I went into Wolf 359 an atheist, would you believe? But after that... You ever heard the old Earth saying, there's never an atheist in a foxhole? Load of shit. But Wolf 359 was my foxhole. A lot of people's foxhole. Anyways, enough about the f***ing mountain.
Starfleet has never been an organisation known for ignoring mysteries, but the stories of the Black Mountain did not come to Command's attention until after the Dominion War. It is unclear which officer in charge of collating reports first created the Black Mountain file. It is, however, now a matter of public record that the file led to a discreet scientific inquiry within Starfleet as to the veracity of the Black Mountain. This led to several ships and captains being told to monitor their crew's reports for references to the mountain.
The Black Mountain? I've never encountered it. Personally, I don't want to. Starfleet gives some orders, some missions. It might come across as strange. Being asked to keep an eye out for evidence of the afterlife is certainly among the strangest.
In 2380, Captain Rion Harte of the Deimos was among those tasked with new exploratory missions. The Lunar-class Deimos was one of many ships whose combined patrol and exploratory missions brought them into daily danger. That made them the perfect captain to assign the task of gathering data about the Black Mountain.
The afterlife is not a prospect I enjoy thinking about. You'd have to ask my chief medical officer the details of individual cases. All I can tell you is that we did find commonalities. We made notes. There wasn't much more to it than that.
Any mission requiring data gathering of near-death experiences is likely to be a difficult one. On a personal note, as Captain Harte's first officer during this time, it should be noted that a certain level of disdain for this particular mission pervaded the notion of exploring the idea of the afterlife.
Space is confusing enough without thinking about the afterlife. Anomalies, hostile aliens, space monsters. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say there is no afterlife. I don't have those answers. But I don't think a starship, a Starfleet crew, or anyone living for that matter, is going to find those answers. In a way, I almost wouldn't want them to. There should always be a little mystery in our lives. And the mystery is what keeps us out here.
In the subsequent 30 years, no one has found those answers, although many officers have kept their eye on the various reports that have come in.
The Black Mountain. I've heard of it. My father left a couple of notes in his logs, and obviously you hear stories. Nothing I've ever given serious credence to. Not to disparage the stories, mind you. There's enough out there that I could take it seriously enough. If there's one thing you learn after all the stuff a Starfleet captain sees, it's that anything's possible. It's a dangerous business, going out your door. You step onto the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to.
Well, I've heard the legend. Some spiritual background about having to fight against some sort of spiritual remnant of your dad or something. I think I remember... Yeah, no, I remember hearing the rumours that were going around on the old California class ships. Yeah. My crew often talked about it. That being my old crew from the Carter, not the crew here. I never encountered it myself though. Sorry. But between you and me, I'm not complaining. Near-death experiences, they're not something I relish.
The legend of the Black Mountain is one of many such legends. Space is, after all, vast. As Captain Harte pointed out, it is likely that, even if there are answers to be found, it will not be a starship or Starfleet crew that find them. Still, it is equally likely that if anyone can find those answers, it will be the brave crew of a Starfleet vessel, somewhere, somehow. Only time will tell. In the meantime, as Captain Harte observed, the mystery is what keeps us out there. This has been a Fleetcom retrospective. As ever, our thanks go to the Admiralty, to Fleetcom Central and Memory Alpha for allowing us access to their interviews with Captains Jackson Carver and Rion Harte, as well as to Captain Gabriel Carver and Michael Hunter for their more recent interviews.